guys, and welcome back to another video. This week's video is going to be a little bit different than last week's video and the week before. It's going to be an entire video focused on how I started my dog business. If you're new here or you just don't know, my boyfriend and I run a full-time pet care company. I'm going to get into all the details, how we started it, what goes into it, the pros, the cons, all of that later in the video. But today I happen to have a pretty busy day when it comes to pet jobs, so I'm going to take you along for my entire day of jobs as well as do a little sit-down Q&A. Hopefully this clears a lot of things up because I do get a ton of questions about my work, how I do it, and you know, everything that comes along with owning a business. Starting off for the first job of the day, we actually have a dog with us right now. Her name is Piper. Anyway, this is Piper. She is a dog we're boarding right now. I'll get into all the details that come along with boardings later, but she has been so sweet. Anyway, it's only 7:13 right now, so the only thing we did for her this morning is give her some food and take her outside. We do have another job that I have to be at in about 15 minutes, so we're gonna head to that one, and then I think hit the gym. I almost forgot the most important part of the day. This, I hate to say it, this is what makes me excited to wake up every single day. Anyway, let's get into a full day of dog walking. Okay, we just got here at our first job of the day. I'm trying to film kind of quickly because we're supposed to be meeting this homeowner's cleaning lady here and letting her in, which is interesting. We normally don't have to do that, but Brady's here with me because we don't have any jobs at the same time. Normally we split off if we're doing things at the same time to make it a little bit easier, kind of make better use of our time. Anyway, we're doing a house sitting right now, and normally with house sittings, it kind of just depends on the family, whether or not they want us to spend the night. That's the cleaning lady. We'll pick back up when we get back. Hold on. Hi, babies. Hi, babies. Come on. You wanna go outside? You wanna go outside? Okay.
Oh, she jumped.
Go. Uh-oh, it's sprinkling out there. Oh, no. Oh. You see her?
It's you. Hi, Goldie.
Okay, are you hungry?
Look at her jumps.
Are you hungry?
Don't tease them. You're teasing them.
Let's go. Okay, Miss Goldie. No, you have to be patient,
She's so
Goldie.
excited.
One scoop for a Goldie. And a little bit more for an older sibling.
Mabel.
Maybe a little bit more for a Goldie.
Yeah, why is that?
Because she's cute. Look at her little face. Oh, Goldie. Sit. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. And that's literally all we do for the morning rounds.
Did you finish your food, sweetie? Good job. You're so beautiful.
Giving updates is always the funniest part of the job to me because I literally just text the owners. I'm like, they're doing good and everything's going good. When you get into a booking that's like 2 weeks long, you kind of run out of things to say because they're just always doing good. Anyways, I'm sending pictures, some little cute updates, and that's about it.
Goldie, you finished your food too, sweetheart.
This is my favorite part of the job. You literally just get to cuddle with all the puppies. Thank you. Goldie, come here. Oh, hello, baby.
You got both of the
Oh,
babies.
and then you say, you want to go outside? You have to go potty? Oh my God, you have to go potty? Now they gotta go poo-poo. No, see that. Okay, continuing on what I was talking about before we went inside. Also, we just got attacked by the sprinklers, so Brady's like soaking wet. Anyway, what I was trying to say before is each house sitting kind of comes with like their own rules, their own things they're looking for. Like the visits per day can range from 1, which I think is a little bit rude to the dog, to 4 or 5. For the specific job, we're doing 4 visits a day, 1 in the early morning, mid-afternoon, dinner time, and nighttime. Anyway, this was the first visit of the day, technically the first job other than Piper, who we're boarding, and we have so many more throughout the day, so let's get a move on. Okay, you guys just saw a little bit of my morning, a few of the jobs that I had, and now I'm going to touch on all the questions that I got and all the things I want to talk about. Basically just explaining how being a dog walker went to being my full-time job, and now roping my boyfriend into the business as well. Also, if I have to take a few random pauses, today all the jets are going by for the Air Force, and they're doing like a whole show here in Florida, so if you hear that, I'm sorry, but this is the only break I have today to film this. Here are the main things I want to touch on about how I made dog walking my full-time job. First off, I did not have a very normal high school experience. I actually hated high school. I was really not in a good place in high school. Here goes a jet. Anyway, I really was not in a good place in high school. I hated my life. The person above me just started vacuuming, so hopefully you can't hear that. I can make a whole separate video on how I graduated early and how I got to the point of being able to work full-time when I did, but just talking about my dog business in itself, it started as a complete hobby. Literally, since I was little, I always wanted to sign up for all the little dog walking apps. I really wanted to do it, but you had to be 18, so I never really could. Until I turned 17, I was doing high school online, and I thought in my head, why can't I just post an ad on Facebook and see if anyone around me needs a dog walker? So that's what I did. That's literally what it started as. I started off getting one family that I walked their dog a few times a week, and she paid me a really good amount of money. And my little 17-year-old brain was like, oh my god, if I get 5 of these clients and I walk 5 dogs a day, I'm literally going to be making what people make at a full-time job. It stayed my hobby for a really long time. I also worked full-time at a bubble tea shop, so I didn't really even think about making it full-time until a lot later. Basically, I just started picking up more clients from that one dog client, and when I turned 18, I downloaded the app that literally changed my life. This brings me into one of the #1 questions I get asked, and it's how do you get clients / what apps do you use? The 2 apps that I've used to get all my clients are Rover and Nextdoor, which is kind of like Facebook and Instagram, like for your neighborhood. It's an interesting app. Rover is an app that you can sign up for when you're 18 years old. You basically just put all your information about yourself, submit for a background check, which I think costs around 40 bucks. Then you get approved, and people can send you requests for dog walkings, boardings, house sittings, everything. I started doing that kind of part-time in Michigan, and then Brady and I started talking about moving to Florida, and literally everything changed. Somehow in my mind, I convinced myself I could do it full-time. I was like, oh yeah, I'll just move to Florida and do it full-time, blah, 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 blah. And that's literally what happened. I committed myself 100% to doing this full-time, and that's what you have to do if you want to start a business like this. But when we moved down, I marketed myself everywhere. I put posts up on Nextdoor every single day. I sent my link around on Rover, and basically the first month we moved here, I was completely booked. Basically now business is booming, you could say. My boyfriend and I are literally completely booked all the time. It really did turn into something that I never thought it would turn into, but I am so incredibly grateful. Brady just got home. He just was roller skating, watching the planes. Anyway, it turned into something that I never thought it could turn into, but I am so incredibly grateful, except for the fact that I had to work really hard for it. Now I'm going to get into more of the question side of it. That was kind of like the backstory. The next question is how I manage bookings and which ones to accept. Now, when you post dog walking stuff, like dog walking ads on Nextdoor or Facebook, you're going to get a lot of really strange requests. For some reason, a lot of people reach out for really strange things. Like, I feel like you'll get requests from people that are a little bit sketchy, a little bit weird, some sort of jobs that you don't really have any interest in doing, and don't do them. That's my #1 tip. Literally don't accept anything that you don't feel comfortable doing. So basically what I did is I would always set up a meet and greet with the family. So if I got a request, I would go meet them somewhere, or they would bring their dog to me, and I would meet the dog, see how everything is going, and figure out if it would be a good fit for me. I feel like when you do a meet and greet, you can kind of meet the dog, you can meet the owner, you can make sure they're not insane, and that's the best way to do it. The next thing I have written down to touch on is the benefits / financial side of it. I feel like there's not really much to touch on when it comes to what the whole business is. Like, it kind of is what it is. It's dog walking, boarding, house sitting, everything that comes along with that. So I feel like I don't really have to touch much on what exactly you're doing, especially because I'm filming my entire day today. But some of the best benefits that I found is I can literally control my schedule 100%. If I get a booking and I don't want to take it, or I want to take the day off, I can. But if I want to book 10 things, I can. It kind of just depends on how you're feeling, and you can really control your schedule because you're the one that's in charge. That's why I would not recommend this job to anybody that doesn't have a very strong work drive. For me personally, my brain is constantly moving, constantly thinking about how I can make money, constantly thinking about how I can better my business. And when I say constantly, I mean 24 hours a day. So if you're not the type of person that thinks like that, this job is not for you. But if you are the type of person that loves to take control of your life and your own jobs and your financial success, this is perfect for you. Another benefit that I've seen is you literally don't have to deal with many humans. At the point that my profile is at now, with all the good reviews and backing up my name, I don't really have as many people wanting to meet me before bookings, meaning I just get to go right into the person's house, see the dog, play with the dog, and leave, and I don't have to have any human interaction, which for me personally is great because the dogs can't be mean to you, the dogs can't be creepy, the dogs can't be scary unless they're crazy, but most of the time the dogs are just super nice. You go in, do your job, make your money, and then leave. Now let's talk about financial side of it. The reason that financial and benefits are kind of grouped together is because the amount of work you put into it is the amount of financial benefit you're gonna have. Like, if you only take 4 walks a week, you're not marketing yourself, you're not looking for new clients, you're not constantly reaching out, you're not gonna make a lot of money. But for me personally, and the way that my brain works, keeping myself constantly booked has kept an insane amount of cash flow that I literally don't even think I can describe. Like, I'm not gonna tell you exact amounts obviously, but let me just say my boyfriend and I moved to a luxury apartment in Florida literally off of no income, and we have made more than we've spent every single month. I feel like a lot of people get really uncomfortable talking about financial situations online, but if I'm being 100% honest, it really does feel like we found a hack in the system, because because a lot of the times we do 4 jobs and go to the beach all day, and we're making more than people who are going to work full time. That is why I say this job has truly changed my life, because of how little the amount of work you have to put in for the amount of financial success. That being said, it honestly is a lot of work, but if you love doing it, it doesn't feel like a lot of work. Like, to me, I feel like when I have really busy days like I do today, it feels to me like I haven't done any work. But when you really sit back and look, I've done 6 hours of walking, or you know. Anyway, on to the next question. Let's talk pros and cons. Pros are making your own schedule, which can honestly be a pro or a con. Another pro is the amount of financial flexibility you can have. Like, your financials are pretty much based off of how much work you put in. Another pro is you get to see cute fluffy dogs all the time, which is so much fun. And the last one I'm gonna say is if you're doing a lot of dog walking, it is so good for your health. You're literally outside, you're getting your steps in, so good. As for cons, a lot of times you get really crappy owners, crappy people who don't know how to talk to you, are very disrespectful. Along with that, you can get really crappy dogs, really mean dogs, loud dogs, crazy dogs, just a lot of dogs that are not well behaved. Number 3 is they are animals. You have to remember, you're working with animals. You don't know the animal's temperament, you don't know the animal, so you have to be very, very careful. And all the dogs that I've seen, I've only gotten bit once, and it was from a dog that was on a bed far away from me, jumped and bit my face, but I did get bit, I did bleed, and now I do have a scar on my nose, so that is something that you definitely have to be aware of. For the last con, I know I've said this a few times, but the flexibility of making your own schedule and like choosing how much money you can make can be a big issue if you struggle with self-discipline. Another side of that is if you're doing a house sitting and you have to go let the dogs out 4 times a day, you might have to wake up at 6 a.m. You might have to wake up earlier, you might have to go to bed earlier, you might have to put things aside that you would normally do because the owner is right. Whatever time they say to go, you have to listen to them. So with your schedule being so flexible, at the same time, it's really not flexible, if you know what I mean. Then actually I just came up with one more con. It's literally your schedule is constantly changing. Like, you're gonna get new jobs every single week, probably every single day, and every single one is gonna require something different, a different amount of time, and different things you have to do at that specific job. So sometimes it gets really confusing to keep everything in order and remember what goes with which job. The next question I have written down I already answered, and that's, have you ever been bit? The answer is yes, but normally if I get a request from a dog that either says they've bitten in the past or they can be a little bit anxious or feisty when they first meet people, I normally turn it down just to avoid situations like that. The next section I have written down is write-off and taxes. Literally every single thing in your life will be a write-off if you do this job, and if you're not familiar on write-offs and how taxes work, I can make a whole separate video on that, but let me just say, my rent, my car, my phone, going out to eat, literally pretty much everything I do in my daily life is a write-off due to the amount of scattered jobs I have throughout every single day. That's all I'm going to say about taxes. Next thing I have written down is how nice it is to have time to work on side hustles. And for me, going along with that, I wanted to touch on the fact that it's not really going to be my full-time job forever. I'm fully aware that I'm not going to be able to walk 10 dogs every single day for the rest of my life, but going along with the side hustles part of it, every single dollar that I have left over at the end of the month goes into investing. And now my boyfriend and I are both at a point where we're making a consistent income from investing on top of the dog business. So in the end, it really is like we're working 2 jobs along with my social media, 3. And with the dog job, there's a lot of separate time to focus on other things. Like, we might be starting a clothing business or just something in like the health and fitness world, just tons of time to think about other options and starting other businesses. The last question I ever get is kind of geared towards boarding. It's, have you ever had a dog tear up anything in your apartment or like have an accident in your apartment? And the answer to that is yes, literally all the time. We've never had a dog tear up anything big. We have had a dog scratch at the door, but that was kind of a minor issue. As for having accidents, throwing up, that happens probably every single day at least once. Okay, maybe that's a little exaggerated, but when you go to a cat's house, a lot of the times they've had a hairball, you have to clean litter boxes, which isn't really an accident, but it's kind of like, you know. We've had probably 7 dogs pee in our apartment, probably more than that actually. I don't think anyone's ever pooped, but definitely pee. The thing about dogs is once one pees, they're all gonna pee pretty much, because if the area smells even a little bit like another dog, they're gonna want to mark their territory, which is why it's really hard to like board separate dogs so often. And obviously I clean the areas that they pee really good, but we had one dog pee in like the dog bed that we have, and I've washed that thing twice and another dog pees on it, and I think it's just holding in the smell a little bit. Obviously it doesn't like smell, but to the dogs it does, so that's something you have to keep in mind if you are boarding. As well as nails, they can scratch things, so if you have like really nice furniture, you want to be aware of that. And also shedding. You're having dogs come in and out and in and out. Shedding can be a really big issue if you're not like keeping up with it, so if you do have dogs in and out of your like apartment or your house, you want to be really up on cleaning. Anything else I should touch on?
You need to love this job. If you don't love it, you're gonna get in big trouble. If you ever get caught at all, even like not giving the dog attention attention or not giving it like love or like even some sort of like abuse.
Kind of what Brady is trying to touch on is the fact that if you want to do this job, you have to love it. You cannot do this job half-assed. Like you cannot, a lot of these pet owners have cameras in their house. They are watching your every single move with these animals. They're watching how you act with them, how much love you give them, the food you give them. Like they're watching everything. If you're not 100% devoted to it, don't do it. Because let me just say, if you get in trouble for one dog, your entire dog sitting, dog watching career is over. I have never once gotten a bad review, which I'm so proud and happy about, but like it scares me thinking that if one bad experience happens and they leave me a bad review, it literally ruins everything. So you have to put your all into your profile. You have to put your all into every single job that you do, whether or not the dog is putting their all into you. Like there's been a lot of times where we've had tragic, awful dogs. That does not mean you can just be tragic and awful to them. That does not mean that you don't have to clean up after them. You have to treat every job like it is your own dog and you love them like your own. Another thing is with Brady being roped into the business now, we can do everything together, which is literally so much fun. Not only that, but like we get to spend so much time together, which can be a pro or a con depending on the type of couple, but for us it's a pro because a lot of times since we live in Florida, we go to a job and then we go straight to the beach, and it has just been so nice. I feel like in the end, a lot of people look at me when I say I have a pet care company and kind of look down on it, and they don't really think much about the financial success or anything like that because I can't really say it out loud. But let me just say, if you are wanting to start a pet care company and do kind of what I'm doing and you want to put your all into it, do it, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed. If you have any other questions about any part of this job, comment them down below and I'll be responding to all the comments. Anyway, now it is 11:30 and I have to head out to my next job, so I will see you guys there. Okay, we had another job come through, so Brady ended up coming with me to this job, which is really exciting, but we have Mrs. Bella! Hi, Bella! Bella is one of our regulars. We walk her pretty much every single day, which is super nice because we can kind of pick what time we want to go, so we really like Bella. Anyway, we have a 30-minute walk on our hands, and we will see you after that.
Hey guys, me and Haley had to split up. We got a surprise dog walk from one of our regulars. His name is Winston. Here's Winston. He's a baby bulldog. So I am doing this job while Haley is doing another job that she had to drop in with. And now we will cut over to that job that Haley is at.
Okay, hi, I have to film another update. I'm at another job now. I dropped Brady off at another job. Hopefully he films a little section himself, but I dropped him off at Winston's, which if you've watched my other vlogs, you've seen him. But I am here with not really regular dog. I see her a few times. I think this is the second time she's booked me, but her name is Stella, and she's a Frenchie, and she is so cute. Literally with this job, I just let her outside. She goes potty, and then I spend time in here just like playing with her and petting her. She's literally so cute. But anyway, this one is 30 minutes, and Brady's is an hour. Stella's snoring. But anyway, I'm gonna head over there and pick him up, and then we will, I think, head back over to see Goldie and Mabel, the dogs that we saw earlier. Anyway, I'm gonna finish this one up and I'll see you when we do the next thing. Look at how cute you are. Beep, 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 beep. Oh no, sorry. Okay, me and Brady are back together and we're at Goldie and Mabel, and they are actually all three cuddling on the couch. I think you can see. Yeah, this is pretty much what our job is, just cuddling dogs on the couch. Like, look at how freaking cute. Anyway, we're about to head home for the first time in like 3 hours, and we're gonna eat lunch and see Piper, and yeah, we'll see you then, I guess, because I don't know what's after that. Okay, hi guys, here is a little update. I'm a little bit sad right now because literally here's my example of this job is not always sunshine and rainbows. I had my AirPod in at this job earlier in the day because I was listening to something. I think I was FaceTiming my mom, and I took it out to film, set it in my pocket. Well, I got home, AirPod not in my pocket, okay? Not in my pocket, and I'm like, oh my god, it fell out at the Frenchie's house. It freaking fell out at the dang Frenchie's house. So let's just say I knew she was gonna eat it because it smells like earwax, and dogs like freaking love earwax. My old dog used to always eat my mom's earplugs, which is kind of gross, but like I knew she was gonna freaking eat it. Well, it's finally time for me to come back over here. This is what I walked into. Literally the entire thing just gone, just absolutely mutilated. Anyway, I'm actually so upset because I just bought new AirPods because mine randomly stopped working, so that's really upsetting because I was trying not to spend any money this month. So anyway, an update on like the job side of things. I have been ridiculously busy today, and I also just got booked for Winston again. So basically I have 3 more jobs and 45 minutes to get them done before the next dog gets dropped off. So this is kind of like the bad side of the job, is sometimes you end up with so much to do and just not enough time. I really haven't figured out what I'm gonna do yet, but when I do, I will get back with you. Hi! Goldie! Hi! Hi guys, it has been a few hours since I picked up the camera, and let me just tell you, it has been a crazy last few hours. Basically where I live today, you heard it a little bit earlier in this video, but the airplane show is going on, like all the military airplanes, which there is a ton of people in town for, as well as it being motorcycle week here where I live, so it is just jam-packed on the roads, literally accidents left and right everywhere. The traffic was freaking insane. That being said, I had 4 jobs to do before a certain time that I was getting another dog dropped off at my apartment. I was supposed to be home, didn't make it. Basically, I spent the last 4 hours driving around trying to get everywhere, and I got there just like 2 hours late. So I am exhausted. I woke up at 5:30 this morning, and right now it is 10 p.m. and the dog that we are having picked up from our apartment tonight is not even picked up yet. I'm over at Goldie and Mabel's right now, letting them outside for the last time, and then I'm gonna head back over, pack up all that dog stuff, take them out to the car, and hopefully be in bed by midnight. Fingers crossed on that one. But this is just like a little show that not everything in my life is like as fun as I make it seem. Like, I love my job, but there are some days like this that are just extremely long and extremely tiring. And the thing with jobs like this is a lot of times when you have house sittings, they go on for multiple days. So I have the exact same day tomorrow and the next day, along with the fact that today was only the practice for the plane show and tomorrow's the actual day, so it'll probably be double as busy. Anyway, I hope you guys got to see kind of what a day in my life looks like as a professional pet care company owner, whatever you would call my job. Like I said, I truly do love my job, and I'm so grateful for the flexibility it gives me and my boyfriend, and just the amount of work that we do is not even on the level that others do. So even though I had the longest day ever, I'm feeling very grateful tonight. Make sure you comment down below if you think of any other questions you have about this type of job, just so I can make sure to answer them, or even put them in another video like this, like a part 2. If you've been thinking about starting a dog walking business, a pet care company, something along those lines, this is your sign to do it. If you dream of working for yourself like I did, you hated high school, you just were looking for the next thing all the time, I promise you this job literally has the potential to change your life. I know I've said it a million times, but I literally could not be more grateful for where I'm at in my life right now, and I just am so excited to see where this business grows in the next few years. On that note, I am gonna end off this video. Hopefully I got enough footage. It has been literally a crazy day, and I'm just hoping that this video turns out good. But anyway, I'm gonna go home, deal with the rest of the stuff I have to deal with for the night, and I will see you in next week's video. And wait, make sure you like the video and hit that red subscribe button, and join our little family here on YouTube. Love you guys, good night, and thank you so much for watching.